The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is March the 2nd. I put the wrong date on the video, right? Yeah, it's March the 2nd, 2023. Let me change that right quick. It's March the 2nd, 2023. And I want to invite you to go to talkrealsolutions.com. And on there, of course, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the 3-point plan to Black empowerment and financial freedom. It has 3 points. The first point is to get together with like-minded people. The next point is stop all unnecessary spending and save your money. The third point is, as a unit, invest or save your money in a verified and trusted institution. And a great goal would be for you to open a Black-owned business. And right above the plan there, you have a link to African American owned banks and credit unions. We could all start moving our money to these institutions to start practicing group economics today. And then if you want to, you can check out the rest of the links and articles on the website. That's normally where we're getting the news stories from tonight. But once again, I'm riding solo, and it's all good because I needed something to do tonight. So I get on here and I'll invite you guys to join the conversation. And you can call in at 717-908-1834. And you can hit the access code of 917-324. And I'll get you on the line here. And you can join me as I try to keep you guys entertained tonight. I know y'all think I sound kind of distracted, and I am, because I'm posting links and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And you can join the conversation. I try to keep you guys entertained like I always do. I think I got everything. I think that's it. Yeah. So welcome to the show. All right, guys. Like I do always on Thursday, I'll try to call in. If we ain't got the news, I'll try to open the lines and let you guys join the conversation. If you got something that you want to talk about, it don't matter what the subject matter is. If it's politics, if it's religion, if it's social, if it's whatever, you can call in and join the conversation, and I'll try to engage you if you want to. If you just got something to put out, just let me know, and I'll shut my mouth and I'll let you talk. But let me say this right here and share this with you guys, because this is a This is a long time coming. This is a long time coming, and I want to share this to show y'all, you know, what owning this channel has it's been a struggle for me. So I'm sharing with y'all the screen of my dashboard. You can see behind the scenes of the number of subscribers and all of that kind of stuff, right? And the reason this is important is because up under here where it says channel violations, it tells you when you got strikes and all that kind of stuff, right? So for me, the 26th of last month, which was what, Sunday, my last strike just came off of this channel. The last strike just came off of this channel. So I don't, yeah, see, it says the well, this warning was put up here way last year because of whatever, probably some COVID misinformation or some bullshit. I don't know. But the last strike just came off of this channel, and I don't know what that means, but I know that I don't have any more strikes. So I really am excited about that, to have a strike-free channel finally. So that's a good thing for me. And you know, it's been a struggle. And the reason that I'm sharing that with you is because whenever you got a mentality like mine and want to reach out to people and share things and want people to be involved, what's up, Frodo? You put yourself at risk. You know, you put your name at risk. You put your reputation at risk. You put your brand, if you will, at risk by you know, just being as open as I am and allowing things the way I do over here. And I don't have a problem with it because we live in America. Hell, you should be able to you should be free to say and do whatever you want to in this country. I am a true believer of that. And you know, if it's mine, it's yours. You know, as far as I'm concerned, and that's the way I treated this channel, you know. But unfortunately for me and for you guys, if you're listening, it kind of compromised the channel, and it got us strikes. It got us restricted access. It got a whole lot of things done to where, you know, you just hear all these people come over here and just start screaming and cussing and threatening each other and you know, all that stuff. You can't do that, you know. So now I don't know, unless people want to actually listen and go by the rules or whatever. I mean, I don't mind, but you can't just come on here and just say and do whatever you want to, because it don't belong to me. It belongs to a private company, YouTube, and they have rules that we have to follow. And you know, it is what it is. You know, y'all know me, like on BTR, I didn't give a fuck. What I didn't care because BTR didn't care. I didn't care. Come on in and you know, y'all want to beat each other up, you can. I didn't give a shit. But the point that I'm making now is that, you know, as time has evolved and these social media platforms have grown, they're being more restrictive on a whole lot of things. Let me show you an example. I pull back up the the channel's dashboard, and I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about here. But over time, things have changed, right? And you have to change with it if you want to be on this platform. There's no even there's no need to even argue about that, because it's nothing you could do. It's not yours. Okay, so if y'all look at the dashboard there, right? Used to be you would be able to get monetized if you, let me see if I can point you to what I'm talking about. The number of watch hours that you get, right? If you got 400 watch hours in 12 months, then you would be able to get monetized, right? And let me see if I can find this information on here for you guys. I'm gonna click on analytics. See, I find it when I'm sitting around here just browsing this stuff, looking at it during the day. But the point that I'm trying to make, if you used to get 400 watch hours within 12 months, or 4,000 watch hours within 12 months, you would be able to get monetized. And right now, it's they changed that shit to where it's like per month you got to get a whole bunch of watch time. See these hours right here? You got to get a whole bunch of watch time consistently for months before they say, okay, well, you can be monetized. So what I'm trying to say with that example is that's one thing that have changed that I mean, if you're familiar with YouTube, then you know the old way it was pretty easy to get monetized. The new way, you have to have a whole lot of content, consistently putting stuff up, and people have to be watching your videos before you get monetized, right? So that's one thing. And another thing that they have changed is the way that they allow content on this channel, on this platform. And you know, a lot of that stuff is restricted now that people used to be able to come on here and say. And a lot of it revolved around the 2020 election. A lot of it was revolved around the coronavirus and hate speech and other things that, you know, offend people. So you can't come on here and do that stuff anymore, you know? And people just don't understand that. But you've got to be able to cater your message to your audience so you can continue the conversation without violating the terms of service, you know? Oh shit, there go ABC in the chat room. What's up, man? But yeah, somebody like that dummy, like he instead of understanding that the platform has changed and that company has changed its policies, he will wrap it up into some type of conspiracy about the left censoring speech, and you know, Joe Biden is controlling YouTube, and you know, Nancy Pelosi is monitoring your sub count, or whatever the fuck he says. He says some old dumb shit that doesn't have anything to do with anything on the reason why people get penalized and the channel gets flagged or strike or whatever. It doesn't have anything to do with it. So that, like Sarge dumbass, you know, whenever I'm telling him, hey buddy, you know, you can speak your opinion about the election, but kind of stay away from the conspiracies and the misinformation about the election. No. He wants to go and double down on about how Missouri and all of these people, you know, they snuck through fucking goddamn drop boxes and whatever the fuck he wants to put on his camo and stand out by drop boxes with his fucking weapon in the prone position and all this kind of dumb shit. And I'm like, okay, get the fuck out of here. There's no way in the world that these grown ass men understand that their belief is separate from actually expressing their point of view on this public platform and compromising the platform. They can't separate them goddamn things. You know, ABC so goddamn stupid that whenever he got one strike, I said, dude, you know, this is all you. You know, you can't say that shit. Oh, they trying to shut me up. You know, they don't want me to tell. Okay, you got another strike. Motherfucker, listen. Okay. You're saying shit that is, whether you think that you're right or not, it is not allowed here on YouTube. So can you please not do that? Oh, here he goes again. He just wants to secretly say it, you know, say it fast and think YouTube don't hear it. And I'm like, okay, you're just stupid at this point. I don't know. You're pushing a fucking narrative because you're programmed and indoctrinated by these people, and you can't get it out your system that what you've been told is a bunch of fucking lies, and now you want to force it down everybody else's throat. I can't help that. You listen, you can have that. That's you, and you can have that, and you can go around and talk to whoever the fuck you want to about. I don't give a shit. You know, I'll even fucking going back and forth with you, but you can't do it on their platform. So that's where the discipline comes in. And these guys not being disciplined and not having enough sense to know that they could probably try to push their message, but they have to cater their speech to where it doesn't violate the terms of service and the community guidelines. So I said all that to say, I got my damn last strike off of the damn channel. But whatever this warning was, initially was probably ABC's fucking bullshit. It's going to stay up there on the channel. It tells you your content was removed to community guidelines. Because this is the first time your account isn't affected, you are warned. You're only warned once, and this warning will remain on your channel. So I guess I'll be stuck with that warning, whatever the hell it was, in February 2026. But the strikes is gone, is my point. Okay, and I don't know, this video here, I don't know where all these damn subscribers came from. It looked like it's 1,400 now. It says 1,000 in the last 28 days. But the only thing I did was put up this Tariq video, which has got 10,000 views, and this China balloon video that's got 3,000, and this China balloon video got 3,000. So I don't know where these people coming from, but it is what it is. So the channel is doing all right. It'll survive. I'll keep putting content up here, and if you guys want to call in and talk, that'll be fine. I'm just letting y'all know that my strike is gone. My last strike is gone. So we have that. Tonight we're not doing the news, as you can tell. Miss Elisa had other things to do. And if you guys want to call in at any time, just give me a call. I'll open your line. It's at 717-908-1834, and I'll get you on the line here. But there was a couple of things that I wanted to, to address while I'm talking about the lies of and the indoctrination by Sarge and and ABC. I want to just rub this in their fucking face. I don't know if you guys have been following the Dominion lawsuit. And what's been going on with that Dominion lawsuit. And the reason that is so significant is because while they're getting sued in court up under oath, they're telling the truth. They are telling the truth. And Rupert Murdoch, I think, just testified the other day. And in particular about the election. But look, and Sarge, I hope you're listening. I hope you're looking. I hope you really want to see this. ABC, this is important to you. Y'all need to know that bullshit on Fox News every day, 24/7, it is a fucking lie. Tyrone has been right when I told y'all, when y'all repeating those conspiracies, that they're fucking conspiracies. Now here you have the head of the network. I put my finger on this motherfucker years ago and told y'all was following this fucking racist ass Australian dude named Rupert Murdoch. I told you that. And he confesses. It's specifically about the 2020 election, that everything that you've learned, when it comes to the 2,000 mules, when it comes to your ballot harvesting, when it comes to the Missouri or the Georgia or whatever the fuck y'all been saying, Hugo Chavez in Venezuela, Italian fucking switching the machines to Italian, all of that shit that you came on here and repeated, now that they're in court under oath, in risk of perjuring themselves, they're telling the fucking truth. Now, here's my question to you, Sarge. I see you in the chat room too, you idiot. Here's my question to you, Sarge, and here's my question to you, ABC. Now that y'all know that y'all have been lied to, that y'all have been swindled, that y'all have been bamboozled, are y'all still going to repeat those same fucking stupid ass rumors and conspiracies that they promote on Fox News? And if your answer is yes, you're a lost cause. You're not even in this dimension when it comes to thinking. You're a fucking program indoctrinated zombie, like I've been calling you. Or if you can, or if you can come to some type of fair understanding and say, you know what, Fox News is just a propaganda wing of the Republican Party, and they have lied to their audience, then we can have conversations about that. But here is this New York Times article that says Murdoch acknowledges that Fox News hosts endorsed the election fraud falsehoods. It says it right there. It says Murdoch, the conservative media mogul, spoke under oath last month in a $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit against Fox News by Dominion Voting System. Rupert Murdoch, the chairman of the conservative media empire that owns Fox News, acknowledged in his deposition that several hosts from his networks promoted the false narrative that the 2020 election was stolen from former President Donald J. Trump. Let that sink in, Sarge. Let that sink in, Sarge. Up under oath in a deposition. Hey, what's up, Kevin? Ain't never went nowhere, man. We just been over here in the corner, staying out of the craziness, man. I ain't trying to be all up all on YouTube all everywhere. I just like to come on here on every Thursday and run my mouth. But how you doing, man? I watch your damn videos, man. You crazy as hell. I heard you going in on Jimmy and shit, and I'll just laugh at you. But anyway, Rupert Murdoch, the damn chairman of Fox News, up under oath, didn't have no other, because he was going to go to jail if he lied. You know that you cannot lie under oath. So he told everybody that his host on his fucking news outlets, Fox News, was lying. Okay, so it said Rupert Murdoch, the chairman of the conservative media empire that owns Fox News, acknowledged in a deposition that several hosts from his network promoted a false narrative that the 2020 election was stolen from the former President Donald J. Trump, and that could have been stopped. He could have stopped them, but didn't. Court documents released on Monday. Let me see what these court documents. I'm gonna open this other link. Oh Lord, I hate this. I hate when they fucking try to sell you shit. I'm not doing that. So anyway, the next paragraph says they endorsed. Mr. Murdoch said under oath in response to the direct question about Fox News, Sean Hannity, Jeanine Pirro, Lou Dobbs, Maria Bartiromo, according to the legal filing by Dominion Voting System. I would have liked us to be stronger in denouncing it in hindsight. Do you understand that, Sarge? The head of the company knew it was lying, and in a court deposition, he said that he would have wanted them to be stronger about denouncing the fucking lies, Sarge. He added, while also disclosing that he was always dubious of Mr. Trump's claim of widespread voter fraud. There you have it right now. I don't even have to read the rest of this goddamn article. I don't have to read the rest of it. And I probably won't. But my point is that y'all are idiots. Y'all are idiots for fucking sitting up here believing that somehow or another Donald Trump, the fucking United States major fucking number one fucking grifting lying ass orange idiot, racist piece of shit, y'all are idiots for believing anything that man says. The number of court cases this man is in, the lies, the people that has went to jail behind him, Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort, what the hell is Michael Cohen, him paying a fucking hooker, a stripper for sex with campaign finance money, his daughters and children making money off of the fucking White House. Him shaking Kim Jong-il's hand and calling all these fucking dictators all over the planet, friends, and getting love letters from fucking North Korea. Why the fuck would y'all believe this motherfucker? I don't understand that. I don't understand how the hell you can't just have common sense. Listen to what I'm saying though. In this country, we got two political parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? And I understand that you want to be a conservative or whatever the fuck, or just support the Republican candidates, and you have dislike for the other political party, and that's fine. But it needs to be done in such a way it's a good, healthy debate, good, healthy disagreements, and not boggled down in lies and misinformation and training y'all to run out here and just say dumb shit every day, 24/7, and look like idiots whenever you call in and talk to Tyrone, because I be slamming you on your fucking ass. That's just what the fuck happened. So for the last fucking 10 years, or last however long Donald Trump been in office and you guys been promoting this dumb shit, Tyrone was right, you fucking morons. Type it in the chat room, Sarge. Type it in the chat room, ABC. Type Tyrone was right. Can you do that? Tyrone was right. Fox News is a propaganda network. Write that down. Write it down, motherfucker. Let me help you. Tyrone was right. You guys are so fucking wrapped up in this fucking politics, and y'all here. Let me just, it's so much to say right now, but let me break this down. Okay, I'm talking about their political perspective, right? But whenever you break it all down, it's not really about politics. It's about anti-black people who support white supremacy. People, the same people who say that black people should be picking themselves up by their bootstraps. The same people who say that our community is criminal in nature. The same people who quotes these fucking statistics and said that black people should not have single parent households. The same people, all of these people. So now, with all those stereotypes that they believe in, coupled with that, they throw their politics on it, because the people that are supportive of all of these stereotypes also have the conservative politics, right? So it's just natural for them to get behind something like Fox News and all that kind of stuff, because they already hate themselves. They already hate being black. They already hate the culture of Black America. So it's easy for them to get behind the politics. Now, we can stay stuck on the politics if you want to, but if you look at the origin of the talking points of these guys whenever they first started coming on, you can see that that's exactly where it started from. ABC started quoting Bill O'Reilly and the single-parent household when he first came on, right? Sarge came on, started downing Trayvon Martin and all this kind of bullshit. Talking points of the right. Self-hate. That's where it comes from. And it evolved into this bullshit with the COVID-19 and the 2020 election. So there's an evolution of them coning, if you will, allegedly, I guess. I don't know if I can say that or not. But there's an evolution of them showing sympathy to white supremacy, and it evolved into them just wholeheartedly subscribing to things like Fox News and the conservative mindset and the evangelical right and all that kind of bullshit. So now that's where they're at. They've kind of gravitated away from the stereotypical talking points of, black people are on drugs, single parents is the problem of the black community, black women are the problem. They kind of elevated, kind of went away from that stuff, and now it's all politics with them. You see what I'm saying? Whenever they say that, whenever we try to remind people of the history of this country and talk about how slavery has a residual effect on this society, they used to try to downplay that. ABC will clearly tell you that racism is not a thing, right? Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene the other day said, the civil rights or whatever the fuck cleared up fucking slavery, cleared up racism. That's the mindsets of these motherfuckers. Oh yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me give y'all. This is a dumb woman. Let me play an audio for y'all for Marjorie Taylor Greene. This right here.
Ethnicity.
I don't know what ethnicity is, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is a racist, and she's the dumbest motherfucker. Let me see if I can find her Twitter. But ABC and Marjorie Taylor Greene is the same motherfucking person. They're the same person. Yeah, they're the same. They're the same damn person. Let me see if this audio says it.
I don't want our statues taken down in our country. I don't think you remove or erase history. So I do agree those statues shouldn't be taken down. They're part of our history. We should learn from our history. We don't erase it. But that doesn't make me a racist because I say leave the statue up there. If I were Black people today and I walked by one of those statues, I would be so proud because I'd say, look how far I have come in this country. Look how far my people have, what they have overcome. And these are good things. Now, I will say, white people have done things wrong. Yes, they have. There are white people that have done all kinds of things wrong. But guess what? Slavery is over. And the civil rights era, thank God it happened because everyone in this country has equal rights. Black people have equal rights. White people have equal rights. We all do as Americans. We all have equal rights.
Now, that part right there is what I'm talking about. That mindset right there is the mindset that you hear coming from A-B fucking C. And ABC don't know this lady. ABC ain't never met Marjorie Taylor Greene a day in his life. Never. But if you ask him if he agreed with what she just said about the civil right happening and correcting the rights, the wrongs of this goddamn country, I guarantee you he will fall on his sword for that damn comment right there. I guarantee it because he said it before. Do you agree with it or not, nigga? Do you agree with what Marjorie Taylor said or not? You know I'm right. I know it hurts, nigga. Tyrone be dropping these damn facts. This country boy be getting on here just ripping you coons apart. But he let me let you listen to it one more time because I mean I guarantee you this is what the hell he
overcome, and these are good things. Now I will say, white people have done things wrong. Yes, they have. There are white people that have done all kinds of things wrong. But guess what? Slavery is over, and the civil rights era. Thank God it happened because everyone in this country has equal rights. Black people have equal rights. White people have equal rights. We all do as Americans. We all have equal rights.
Now, you can say whatever the hell you want to, but that's why you hear ABC say, well, you know, hey, they're just trying to divide us with this racism thing. Every time you turn around, they're talking about racism. That's why you hear Sarge say, you know, there ain't nobody own slaves that's living today. That's exactly why, because they agree with this racist ass piece of shit KKK, Marjorie Taylor Greene. They have failed for the damn politics and have been indoctrinated so bad that even in the chat room right now, he don't realize that he says the exact same thing that he just heard this racist white woman say. That's how fucking programmed you are. That is how programmed you are. Listen, I'm gonna play some more of her, and you don't even know Marjorie Taylor Greene, but listen to her audio and then think about your stance.
I'm gonna stand up for white males here. The most mistreated group of people in the United States today are white males. They are blamed for everything. They're the scapegoat. Everything bad in America is because of white men. That's what you're told. That's what.
Now think about that. Whenever Sarge calls in here, he always kick the door down. White people aren't bad. Who says that? You say that, motherfucker. Why you always got to make everything about white and black? This is a fucking sitting congressman. And you don't have a problem with her collecting your tax dollars saying the opposite of what the hell I'm saying. But whenever a black man says it and points out white supremacy and racism and the historical racism in this damn country, you want to call in here and tell me that I'm wrong. You want to call in here and tell me there ain't no such thing as racism. But you just heard a sitting person of Congress, a currently a member of Congress, say the same shit about white men. Where's your rage at? Let me finish this audio.
The media wants to tell you. That's what the Democrats want to tell you. They want to blame everything on white men because white men are bad and white men are racist and white men want to hold everybody down. They just want to be successful themselves. You know, it's not fair. That is not fair to my father. That is not fair to my brother. That is not fair to my husband, and that is not fair to my son. It is not fair that white men are treated that way. You want to know why? Because it's not true. That is not true. There are so many good white men. Okay, yeah, there's been some yucky ones. Yeah, there's some assholes out there. But guess what? There's assholes of every color. There are some rotten people to the core of every single color and every single race. But it doesn't mean that every single one of them are bad, because you want to know what? The majority of white men in this country are good people, and they do good things every single day. And they are not against anyone. They are not against black people. They are not against Mexicans. They are not against Asians. They are not trying to do anything bad to anyone. This is the lie the Democrats.
Now, I want y'all to think about it. And I let that play out because what it reminded me of is when I used to be on BTR and I used to talk about these racist ass founding fathers that Sarge praises. I used to talk about how that Constitution and the origin of this damn country didn't have black people in mind. I used to talk about how they owned slaves and how the hell are we supposed to respect fucking somebody labeled as founding fathers when they own my goddamn ancestors. And Sarge would call in here and try to protect the goddamn founding fathers and said it was the law of the land at the time. That was his excuse. And he'll probably still say the same dumb shit today. But as she runs on to say there is no bad white men, those were white men. They was 100% white men. Whenever she runs on to say what is my son and my husband and the male family members in my community going, how are they going to feel? Well, look at the damn genocide that is going on the streets of America against black people with white men wearing badges, with the white police system killing black people legally in this damn country, committing legal lynches in 2023. Whenever she's saying white men aren't bad, look at all the fucking laws that are being pushed to restrain your access to voting. Huh? And then you will have these dudes bend over backwards and say the exact same thing that this racist ass Marjorie Taylor Greene, KKK member, Proud Boys, Oath Keeper, whatever the fuck she is, insurrectionist, they're bent over backwards to say the exact same thing this lady just said about white men. But whenever I call out the facts of history, whenever I call out the oppression that our community is up under, y'all got to call in here and tell me that I'm being extreme. That somehow or another I shouldn't say that. Whenever you look at the laws getting put in place to take the fucking books and censor information in schools today about your damn history, and you got people like her writing the regulations, creating the legislation to get rid of the information out of our schools about your damn history, you gonna call in here and oppose me, but you allow this type of racist bullshit to continue, and you support it wholeheartedly. That is prompted up by Fox News. When you see Tucker Carlson promoting the racist agenda of the Great Replacement Theory. See how all this go together? And then at the same time, the shit that you're promoting, when they go to court and they have to put their hand on the Bible or they have to swear in to tell the truth upon the perjury of lying and going to jail, they tell the truth behind closed doors. They tell the truth in depositions because they know they're lying to your dumb ass. They know that they're lying to you. Let me see what else this goddamn stupid lady got to say.
Want black people to believe so they can keep the black vote. That's what all of this is about. They want black people to believe that white people are racist and Republicans are racist and President Trump is a racist so they can keep the black vote. If anything, they're trying to keep the black people in a modern day form of slavery. It's a slavery system to keep their vote.
Hold on. Right there. When she says that, I want y'all to think about this vote down ballot. I want y'all to think about this ADOS movement. I want y'all to think about this. What you voting for? You just voting for the Democrat. You on the Democrat plantation. I want y'all to understand what the hell she just said. I want y'all to understand everything she just said and to turn black people away from participating in the election process in this country. But hold on. If she want black people not to participate, why is she an elected member of Congress? She participated in this same fucking system that she's telling black people not to participate in. She's getting the paycheck from this same system that she's telling black people not to participate in. And then you got stupid ass ABC saying, I agree with her. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because that's your massa. Whatever Massa say, you agree with. Even though Massa is using that system. Donald Trump is a political person. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in politics. They had to get elected to office using a political party, but they're telling your community not not Get the fuck out of here. Let me play this again.
That's what all of this is about. They want black people, not against Asians. They are not trying to do anything bad to anyone.
Here it go.
This is the lie the Democrats want black people to believe so they can keep the black vote. That's what all of this is about. They want black people to believe that white people are racist and Republicans are racist and President Trump is a racist so they can keep the black vote. If anything, they're trying to keep the black people in a modern day form of slavery. It's a slavery system to keep their vote. It's all about control. We'll continue on.
Now, think about it. There's two political parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. Democrats normally vote black. And what did she say? They're trying to keep the Democrats in a modern form of slavery. But wait, what is the other side doing? Why are you calling the Democrats who happen to have a black constituents, why are you saying they're in slavery? Well, because you can relate slavery and that insult and every other racist thing to what the Democrats is doing, to what black people are doing, because you think it's an insult to say that, you're still in slavery. But you got dumbasses in the goddamn chat room like ABC dumbass. I agree with that. So if the Democrats is voting and it's slavery for black people, what the fuck is it for the Republicans, ABC? Answer that in the chat room right now. If the Democrats and the Republicans are participating in politics on both sides of the political party, but you only identifying the black people and the Democrats as slavery, what do you call the Republican participation? Nigga. See, this is why I know y'all slow. This is why I know y'all are hypnotized by your massa. Because she says something to reach your emotion. Ooh, slavery. Yeah, that's bad. And because all black people doing it, we got to associate slavery with their activity. Who? Politics. So if they're participating in politics and they got the same mindset, then that's a form of fucking slavery. So let's use that in a talking point and try to insult their fucking political participation. And you can't get no further from saying something that's dumb. Listen, you dumb son of a bitches. Listen. The reason, the number one reason that that's a dumb comment. I want you to raise your hand if you know why that's a dumb comment. I want you to raise your hand and let me know if you know why saying that black people using their freedom and their constitutional right to vote is like slavery dumb. Somebody tell me why the hell that's dumb. Well, I'll tell you, because you're stupid. ABC. Slaves didn't have any rights. So to try to draw that comparison is just idiotic to me. For them, and that's why it was stupid for them to say, "Ooh, you're on a Democratic plantation." What the fuck is you talking about? It's like an oxymoron. Slaves didn't have any rights. Slaves didn't have any freedom. Slaves didn't have any constitutional access to the ballot box. So you can't say participating in a free election is slavery. That is the dumbest shit. But the reason that it caught on is because it involves black people, and black people doing things in mass, and calling them slaves is a fucking insult. So now, you know, some black people like Sarge and ABC hear that and say, ooh, yeah, I agree with that. You're stupid. You're stupid because your community is actually using their constitutional right to use their freedom to vote people in and out of office. That is a freedom afforded to U.S. citizens, and you dumbasses have done belittled it and called it slavery again. Because you're fucking stupid. I know that was like a common sense level 12 for these motherfuckers, but it's just stupid. Let me see what else this stupid lady got to say.
He says, likewise, despite centuries of exclusion and robust evidence of continuing racism, minority underemployment is often couched in the language of bad choices and personal responsibility.
Right there. That goes into those stereo talking points that I was telling you about, that these idiots repeat all the time about stereotypical single family home, drugs, and being violent and all that kind of bullshit.
Of exclusion and robust evidence of continuing racism, minority underemployment is often couched in the language of bad choices and personal responsibility. I gotta tell you, anybody's unemployment has to do with bad choices and personal responsibility. And again, that does not have a skin color. I know a ton of white people that are as lazy and sorry and probably worse than black people I know.
Did you not hear that? She said she know a bunch of white people that is lazy and sorry as black people she know. As lazy and sorry as black people she know. Now, listen, you cannot get no more racist than that. But yet still, she's a superstar on Fox News. Yet still, you have these idiots like Sarge and ABC in the chat room cheering this dumb shit on. Because they hate themselves. They hate being black men. And not only do they hate being black men, they hate to hear somebody that's boisterous like me that speaks my mind being unafraid. But I don't even know how I got on that. But the reason that I started playing that is because of Fox News and it lying to ABC and Sarge about the coronavirus, about Rupert Murdoch and the 2020 election, and Donald Trump frivolous lawsuits again and again and again. He's losing in court. And there is, and here's the bottom line, guys. The whole idea that the 2020 election was stolen is being exposed in this trial. So if they're going to be honest about the conversation from this point going forward, and they're making these claims, just like dumbass Carrie Lake is making the claim about election fraud, just like all of the, if you going forward after this point, you're just dumb. There is no conversation. There's no legitimate conversation you can have with anybody, especially when Sean Hannity has testified. especially when Maria Marabamo and Janine Pirro and all of these people have went and give their depositions and told you that they was lying to you. They said that they didn't believe Giuliani and the crazy lady whenever they came on there. All of these conspiracies that you guys believe got played out in court about the Dominion voting system. All of that stuff has got played out in court in these secret depositions that is coming out now. So everything you guys say or was promoting, now if you go look up the depositions and you read them for yourself, you can see that it was a lie. Now what you supposed to do at this point? Well, at this point, you're not supposed to continue to double down on that dumb shit because it'll be a useless conversation, right? It'll be a useless conversation. I mean, there's nothing to argue about. There is clearly nothing to argue about. There is clearly nothing to debate about a 2020 election no more. It really isn't. Clearly. And I'm gonna help you out. If you want to carry the conversation forward, you can have a conversation about how you guys can perform better the next time, acknowledge your mistakes, and then try to correct those. You know, that's the way it's supposed to happen. But to double down on the 2020 election lies and conspiracies, to promote the movie like 2000 Mules, to all of that dumb shit, right? It makes no motherfucking sense at this point, especially when the owner of the goddamn station is in court telling us that he allowed his people to fucking lie. It makes no damn sense. Who's this unknown caller?
Now, goddamn it, if you ain't gonna let me answer all them god motherfucking damn lies you done told about me, fuck you, I'm hanging up. Are you gonna let me respond to you or not?
Okay, sorry, but listen, you know threats don't go that far with me.
You's a lying motherfucker, and I'm about to prove it.
Okay, I know you are, but hold on for one more second, and you can answer. I will give you the floor, sir. And I want to share this with you guys. Today, or a little while ago, I don't know if y'all been following Alex Murdaugh trial in South Carolina, but he just got convicted and found guilty of murdering his wife and his son, and great for him. And you know, I was going to speak on that a little bit, but I'll just real quick before Sarge goes. What you have in Alex Murdaugh is you have white privilege, right? In this attorney that has a lineage and of having lawyers in his family and making money and what you see on display is corruption, lies, the stealing from money of white men in this country in this trial, right? So much so that he murdered his own wife and his daughter. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because what I noticed in this trial is the amount of money that he was stealing, the amount of money that was passing hand from white man to white man, from white institution to white institution. Whenever people say that reparations is not a thing in this country, if you look at the amount of money that Alex Murdaugh was stealing, was using in a corrupt manner, was just manipulating it, you can see that money is in the family, in the hands of one white fucking man. And whenever people ask for things in this damn country, you can see it's getting sucked out of the system by millionaires like Alex Murdaugh, Donald Trump, and others. You know, and that's why this system is broke. That's why the economics is broke in this country, because you got people taking advantage of the monetary system in this country. Now, I'm going to shut up and let Sarge talk about how Fox News and Rupert Murdoch is wrong. Go ahead, Sarge.
Well, then, goddamn it, I might as well hang up because I'm doing no such goddamn thing.
Go ahead.
Now, let me explain something to you, man. I'm going to explain something. Now, look, I normally don't ask to get a Renee filibuster up in here, but this time I'm going to ask for something like it, but I won't be nowhere near as long as she usually is. Just listen up and you'll hear what I got to say in response specifically to your specific lies. First of all, I don't take my cues from Fox News. They don't direct me. I listen to the information they put out, because most of it I can't hear on any other station. I may or may not agree with it. I usually agree with it. But if I disagree with it, I disagree with it. And if I agree with it, I do research on it further to see if it will hold up. Secondly, I'll get back to Fox News in a minute. But let me talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. First of all, I don't agree with everything you just played that she said. First of all, one thing she should definitely not not do is attempt to speak for black people or anybody else that she ain't authorized to speak for. She's authorized to speak for the people she represents in a congressional district and her own opinions about matters. Hell, on this goddamn show, Sarge can't even speak for Sarge. You tell me I'm not speaking for myself when I say half the shit I say. So I don't believe anybody should attempt to speak for anybody they are not authorized to speak for. So I don't agree with her on that. Second, when you talk about white men being the most treated, now I may or may not agree with that. In fact, I probably don't agree with that. They're the most mistreated people in this country. That's probably black conservatives. But I'll tell you this much. I know this beyond any doubt. White men are the most officially discriminated against people in this country, beginning with the fucking White House with their goddamn diversity commission that specifically excludes white men from consideration for jobs. Officially. Now, goddamn it, that I'm sure of. Next, when you talk about, white people, I get sick of hearing that. Some white people are pieces of shit. Others are noble, exemplary human beings. They're people, just like black people. There's all kinds of noble black people, all kinds of pieces of shit black people. They're people. They vary the gamut. I don't go for this, all white people ain't bad, all black people are good or whatever. They people, which means they're subject to the strengths and frailties of all human beings. Next. Yeah, Sarge did praise the founding fathers, goddammit. You're damn right. I'm going to continue to do so. And by the way, so did Frederick Douglass, who had actually been a slave, not a little whiny, moist bitch like you, bitching about it 161 years later. He was actually a slave, and he praised the founding fathers, too. Listen to his 4th of July, 1853 speech about the Constitution and the founding. He believed in it. A slave, not a little moist punk like you. Now, let's get back to Fox News, okay? Fox News, now the defamation case in Fox News, this is a very specific case. It ain't about election law, because most of my opinion about the election, and true, I'm going to admit this now, I'm going to admit this up front, and don't you dare distort it, nigga, because you're hearing it straight from the horse's mouth as to what the horse believes. Yeah! This is what I believe, nigga. When I first heard the shit about Dominion, I thought there was credibility to it. Then Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani made that case. And I even spoke to it a couple of times. But when I began to look into it, I found the information specifically about Dominion and especially Smartmatic. When they bought up the Smartmatic machines, was wholly unsubstantiated. So I said, this is not corroborated. I cannot rely on it. Remember, this lawsuit against Fox News is very specific. That the texts and emails made by Fox owners, executives, producers, and on-air talent indicated that none of them believed any of the accusations specifically put forth by their guests, Giuliani, Powell, and Lindell. Dominion's case argues that if they knew these falsehoods, that broadcasting them was defamation, okay? Now, the filings from Fox thus far, because I've read them, unlike your ignorant ass, I didn't read the filings. Fox filings thus far do not make any argument regarding the accuracy or effectiveness of the Dominion equipment or the software. And the Census Bureau, that's not Fox News, nigga. The Census Bureau, the United States government. And the Census Bureau reported in April 2021 that its surveys to April 2021, there were 168,308,000 registered voters and 154,628,000 votes were cast in the 2020 election, which would mean that the 2020 presidential election had a 92% turnout of registered voters. I don't believe that. Do you believe that? Because I don't.
Listen to what I'm saying.
When he said,
okay,
listen, you got to let me finish.
I'm going to let you finish. Let me just say this right here, right quick. If you can, please, sir, try not to, or tread lightly if you think that you're going to repeat any of these election conspiracies. That's what I'm asking.
I didn't repeat a conspiracy. I said what the Census Bureau reported. How's that a conspiracy?
Oh. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to,
I know that the number of votes that were cast is simply adding numbers of all the votes reported cast in each one of the 50 states and the District of Columbia. That's not a conspiracy. When you add up the total number of votes that they say were cast, it was 154,628,000 votes cast out of a possible total of 168,308,000 or so. That's about 92% turnout in the presidential election. If you believe that, then I got a bridge in Manhattan to sell you. I just don't believe. That's my opinion. Next. Now, Fox and Dominion, both of them, both Fox and Dominion, look like idiots since the Dominion employees themselves, not me. If you look at the other depositions, which you choose not to look at, there are Dominion software saying that their software was full of glitches, holes, and hacks. Now, there's no way you're going to be able to reconcile the idiots at Fox saying they didn't believe the fraud when it was clear that something was funky about the Dominion software. Okay?
And so hold on. Sorry, listen, I got to pause you, brother. Listen, I hear what you said about the Dominion glitches, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is because
their employees made out.
Okay, sorry, please let me do this right here because I'm trying to protect this platform. If you don't mind, sir, I hear what you said about the Dominion glitches, and you can have that. But all I'm saying is the deposition and the lawsuit is proving that Dominion so far has not did anything wrong. So you can have whatever you just said.
What I said was is that Fox did not say anything, either good or bad, about the accuracy and the validity of Dominion's software. It was only about what Fox reporters said they, as individuals, didn't believe about the claims of Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. And that since they didn't believe them, they should not have broadcast them. That is the essence of their lawsuit. See, I actually read it. See,
so hold on.
Like you're doing.
Listen. Sorry, whenever you say Fox didn't, sorry, please let me say this. Whenever you say Fox didn't say anything wrong about Dominion, right? The fact that they allowed Sidney Powell.
That's not what I said. See, you don't listen to me. I said Fox News did not mention anything on air as to the veracity and accuracy of the results of Dominion's activities in the election. They didn't. They spoke about Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and other people expressing their opinion about the elections, and they thought some of what they were saying about Smartmatic and Dominion was far-fetched.
Listen, I need to address that, brother. The fact that they allowed Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani on there to speak towards the veracity of the Dominion system and talk down about the veracity of the damn Dominion system is the reason that they're in trouble. Because before, these were pre-aired shows and there wasn't live, so they had time to change the accurate information, but they allowed those guests on there and they allowed those shows to be aired, speaking towards the veracity of Dominion. So you can say Fox didn't say it, but since they was on their shows, since Barrington Romo, since Lou Dobbs, since Janine DePiro, since Sean Hannity allowed them on those platforms on Fox News is being held accountable for that. Do you understand that?
Okay, yeah, I understand it. Because here, I'm going to tell you what I fell for a little while and eventually came to disregard. So in this case, I'm going to kind of actually agree with you. So listen carefully and don't distort what I'm about to say, all right? For instance, Powell and Giuliani both made very specific and easily debunked statements about Smartmatic. Remember Smartmatic? Now, had they not made those statements, it might be easy to say that their credibility is without question. Their credibility is not without question because of what they said about Smartmatic. And I kind of fell for this too, but I came to disregard it, which is why I almost completely stopped talking about Dominion and Smartmatic after I found out that these stuff would not hold water. For instance, they said that Smartmatic worked with Hugo Chavez on fixing an election. Now, true, they did use Smartmatic technology in the 2017 elections in Venezuela. After it was over and the Chavez regime claimed the win, Smartmatic called Chavez out for manipulating the results. Now, if Smartmatic were working with Chavez, they would have went along with this scheme instead of calling him a cheater. Okay? So that doesn't even hold up.
Hold on. I got it.
Claim by Giuliani doesn't even hold up. They shouldn't have said it.
So what I'm saying, What I'm saying is what you just repeated had nothing to do with the United States.
Retarded.
Right,
Wait a
right.
minute.
So that had nothing. Go
You
ahead.
just said a whole lot of shit now. I'm going to get specific with stuff that's supported by the record that was filed in court against Fox News and the depositions by the principals. Next, in other words, the claim Smartmatic made about not working with Shabazz is not verifiable. Now, Smartmatic is not owned by...
Hold on, it is, sir. Listen. If we're going to go down this route, you're putting my channel at...
You hear what I just said? You probably don't understand the words I use. Let me say again what I just said. The claim Smartmatic makes about not working with Chavez is therefore verifiable.
Okay, I heard you. Okay, go ahead.
Work with Chavez, so thus there's no reason to believe that they didn't. Giuliani shouldn't have said what that. Now let me listen to me and just listen to what I say. Stop distorting things I say. Next.
I'm trying to be careful. I want my channel.
I'm not rambling, and I'm not narrating.
Yes,
all right?
Are.
Okay, now listen up. Smartmatic is not owned by Dominion. Dominion is not owned by Smartmatic. Both companies admit they had a working relationship in the past and that their working relationship ended in litigation. Now, I don't know how you go about verifying company ownership, but it turns out there was indeed a lawsuit. So unless companies like to spend money suing themselves, it would seem that these companies ain't intertwined, as Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani implied. So, that's verified, and what they said they shouldn't have said. So,
great. So let me...
Smartmatic was used in one county in the United States in the presidential election. That county was Los Angeles County, California. That too is verifiable. Every single county or state has to, by law, publicly divulge what equipment and software is being used in his elections. So why I don't know why Giuliani and Powell would bring Smartmatic. So see, I'm not buying shit that I hear. I always investigate. Always. Unlike you, I do it. I actually do it. Because I was really a police officer. Now, next.
Okay.
Next. Now, I'm going to say everything I said ain't got nothing to do with voting machine reliability. Was nothing I've just spoken to speaks as to whether or not those machines were accurate and did the job properly. So I'm still up, as far as I'm concerned, that's still moot and it's yet to be proven or disproven. It just makes Giuliani and Powell look bad. Okay?
No, it doesn't, Sarge. You're wrong.
And they ruined the credibility of mostly everything they said by using the word Smartmatic. And finally, and then I'll respond to everything I said. Just one more thing I want to say. The private communications in the Fox News, the emails between hosts like Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, privately rejected the allegations put forward by some people on the Trump legal team, like Powell and Giuliani, that Dominion machines compromised and delivered a false victory to Joe Biden. But what's really interesting, man, and you've seen the miss in this recap, is that there is nothing documented about those very same people at Fox or anyone else at Fox asserting on air that the claims related to Dominion were not true.
Oh, yes, it did. Hold on. Stop. Maria Bartiromo had an offer a retraction. She did a whole show about that. Lou Dobbs had an offer a retraction, but Sean Hannity, I don't think that he has, and Tucker Carlson hasn't. So Fox News and those on a business network had to offer retractions for their comments about the 2020 election. So what you just said isn't true. But I got Sister Ottawa line open. If you want to speak, Sister Ottawa.
So much has been said. I did want to speak to his reference to Frederick Douglass, and he said that how he praised the founding fathers. Well, in his speech that was made in 1852, the meaning of July 4th for the Negro. And in it, I'm just going to read a small little piece to you because I'm in total disagreement with what he said about Frederick Douglass. And Douglass said, "What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. Your celebration is a shame, a sham. Your boasted liberty, an unholy license, your national greatness, swelling vanity, your sound of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted imprudence, your shout of liberty and equality, hollow mockery, your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgiving, with all your religious parades and solemnity are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of the practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States of America at this very hour. And that's just a small piece of his speech.
Well, I remember that, and us going over what Frederick Douglass said on the 4th of July, and I agree with you. But just like Martin Luther King, they always twist the words of our ancestors to try to make it fit their narrative, and that's exactly what Sarge did whenever he said Frederick Douglass.
Oh, you're a lying bastard! Now, goddammit, you better.
Okay, and I think maybe you could give me an opportunity later. Maybe we could read the whole speech at some point.
Yeah, let's read the whole
week
speech.
or so. Absolutely, it needs to be. So
Yeah,
there'll
you need
be
to read the whole.
clarity.
You stopped at a very convenient point. I got the whole speech, and I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
All
I'm
right, so
looking at
let's
it too.
continue then. Let's
I'm
continue
looking
the
at it
speech.
too.
You shouldn't stop right there.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, no. It was when he went on to say right after the words you just said. There is
Okay,
no
well,
matter
you finish it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish where I left off.
Be so ruinously impressed upon as that of the pro-slavery character of the Constitution. In that instrument, I hold there is neither warrant, license, nor sanction of the hateful thing, but interpreted as it ought to be interpreted, the Constitution is a glorious liberty document. Read its preamble, consider its purposes. Is slavery among them? While I do not intend to argue this question on the present occasion, let me ask, if it be not somewhat singular that if the Constitution were intended to be, by its framers and adopters, a slave-holding instrument, why neither slavery, slaveholding, nor slave can anywhere be found in it? I hold that every American has a right to form an opinion of the Constitution and to propagate that opinion and to use all honorable means to make his opinion the prevailing one. Now take the Constitution according to its plain reading, and I defy the presentation.
Wait a minute. Where are you?
On the other
What are
hand,
you reading?
found to contain principles and purposes entirely hostile to the existence of slavery. Allow me to say, in conclusion, notwithstanding the I have the state of the nation. I do not despair of this country. There are forces in operation which must inevitably work the downfall of slavery. The arm of the Lord is not shortened, and the doom of slavery is certain. I therefore leave off where I began, with hope, while drawing encouragement from the Declaration of Independence, the great principles it contains, and the genius of American institutions. My spirit is also cheered by the obvious tendencies of the age.
Well, I think what I read speaks to the hypocrisy that the so-called founding fathers demonstrate in their speech and in their action. Nobody's saying that the Constitution is not a document that says anything significant. I'm not saying it doesn't have any significance. I'm saying that it's not actualized. It's a bunch of just mouth words. Where's this American democracy even? Where do you see it?
All right. Well, I'm
Come
glad.
on now.
Come
Come
on
on now.
guys.
We're not saying the document is not any good,
No, let me check this unknown caller
but
right
we
quick.
can say that all of the presidents, all of the founding fathers were slave owners.
No, they weren't.
That is what Frederick Douglass was talking
Test.
about, the hypocrisy.
Hello.
Yes, you can talk about the
He didn't say the document wasn't no good.
Can y'all hear me?
He just said it is not actualized in the country. There's nothing but torture and mayhem going on.
Test.
That's what he's speaking to.
Can y'all hear
Don't
me?
confuse it.
Can you
But
hear
that's
me?
all I wanted to say.
Can you
The
hear me?
Constitution, the blueprint
What the
made
fuck?
by those racist slave owners to
Listen,
equate
we're not talking about the
enables all things to
Constitution.
be set in a motion to end slavery. You have to start
Listen,
somewhere.
did it end it? Did it end it? No, it did not. It did not end it.
Them.
Come on, but look what you're talking about.
Hey, I'm not taking
What are you
that back.
talking about?
Started with them.
Them who? Who you talking
Okay, we're gonna have to
The
okay.
framers of the Constitution.
Look, you don't
Okay,
have
so
to holler. Really, you don't have to holler because you're just creating confusion and none is needed.
In that
There's
document,
nothing. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna have to calm down. And let me check this unknown caller first. Who's this unknown caller?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Jay, New York? How you doing, man? Guys, if y'all looking at the screen, let me go where Sarge misrepresented this man's words again. Where was he at?
I read him word for word, verbatim.
No,
And you represent
speech is rather long.
he wrote it and said it.
Oh, God.
And you jumped around quite a bit in this speech, Sarge. You didn't pick up where I left off. You was off. It's a long speech, brother. So I'm just
Why are
saying.
you-
You were pretty selective yourself.
I'm doing what?
You were being quite selective yourself.
I started reading from the very first paragraph, the very first line.
I'm looking the whole time. I look where you started. You didn't start at the beginning.
I didn't?
I'm looking at you want me to read the whole damn thing then?
No, I don't. No, I do not. We'll do it another time. I'm good. I'm good with it.
I know, because I know.
I already suggested reading it.
I've read the speech.
I already suggested reading the thing all the way through. We could do it together if you want to, Sarge. But we ain't got to argue about this.
Word for word like a chorus.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. But I'm not now. The man's got a program going on.
Fellow citizens, pardon me, allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? That's where he starts.
That's where it
the whole
begins.
damn
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, well, hold on.
We can
Let me
do
ask
that.
you this,
But we
Sarge.
ain't got to do it now. I just pulled out a main piece that spoke to what he was saying in this speech.
And I
And then he
pulled
was
out the
saying
words
that
immediately followed what you said.
Okay, but we're not going to read it now, Sarge. There's a program going on. I just wanted to bring
Which is why I
recognition to the fact that he wasn't praising.
I knew Tyrone was going to give me time to read the whole thing. I just mentioned it.
It's rather long, Sarge. Maybe we said we can do that another time. All right, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. If you go ahead. I'm not reading it. Okay.
Tyrone said Sarge praised the founders.
And it would be better if we plan on a read. It would be better, Sarge. Sarge. What is wrong with him?
Sarge.
It would be better. Sarge.
I didn't even say. And then the things I actually said, you want me to say I didn't say.
I didn't say you said anything. I was speaking to the man's speech.
Tyrone accused me.
I was speaking to the man's speech.
Praising the founding fathers. Tyrone accused me. And I responded Tyrone by saying, so did Frederick Douglass. He praised the founding fathers too.
For
He did
what?
not praise the founding fathers.
So
He
That's
did
what I'm trying to tell
not
you.
praise them.
Okay, you want to challenge me on that one then? I'm gonna prove you wrong
Yeah.
again,
Okay.
bud.
Hold
Okay,
on.
well, we can do that another
You hit my
time.
point. You hit my point exactly, Sarge. So the section that you read that he said that you said that he praised the founding fathers. I want you to read that again.
Okay, hold on. God damn it, I gotta open the book.
And read it so everybody can consume it now. So just listen, everybody, to what he reads.
Here we go. Now this is after where Sister Ottawa stopped off, and I picked it up from where she stopped.
Well, before you get going, let me just say, I pulled out an excerpt from the speech that spoke to his feelings about the hypocrisy in the country. That's all I was doing. Now, we can read the whole speech, but I would encourage our having a discussion on this speech, but allow everybody
Muted.
so everybody can participate and bring a
Unmuted.
conversation. And it's just not you and I talking about it, but everybody can participate in it. I mean,
I'm all ready for that discussion. Have that discussion. That'd be great.
Okay, then let's move forward.
Day of the week.
Okay, we can do that anytime. Anytime. I'm open.
But the thing is, I don't want to stop off at points that are either convenient to your argument or mine. I want the whole thing in context.
All right, so
Absolutely,
bring the whole
I'm
thing
in
out,
agreement.
Sarge, bring it all out now. So let me ask you a question. When did the prison
Can you hear me, Jay?
get the green light
Hello?
to have prisoners work and build and create things for corporate companies? What year?
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 6 participants in the conference. Q&A session has
Test.
started. The recording has started.
Test. Okay.
Right. And a lot of those prisoners, they also built those prisons that they're in. Is that correct?
Most of them already added some additional. Yeah.
So
what's your point? What's your point?
No, my question to you is that when did corporations and government start working hand in hand by utilizing prisoners that were in prison? I'm trying to find
When they started selling stock. When they started selling stock into the prison system, corporations and individuals began to purchase stock in the prison system, guaranteeing 90% occupancy.
Okay, well, look, I'm gonna make a concession to Jay's argument. Jay, they always use prison labor for profit ever since they've been having prisoners in this country.
Well, it started on the slave plantation, the first prison. So exactly, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But it wasn't just slaves, but yes, they did use slaves.
What do you mean just slaves? We talking about slaves. Who else? Well, why you always trying to mix apples and oranges?
It wasn't just slaves. They would take white men and farm them out too.
All right, well, we're not talking about white folks, okay?
I know you guys.
We're talking about black folks.
Tunnel vision. I don't have
who were enslaved in this country.
I know. I don't have tunnel vision. I look at everything.
Well, the reason why I even asked...
I ain't no tunnel vision. Let's just stay on point. See, you want to romanticize this thing. You want to put a little cherry on top and a little whipped cream and make it palatable. Fuck that shit. Tell the goddamn truth. Tell the truth.
What do you mean romantic?
The reason why I asked that question, Sarge, is because I don't know if there's a connection, but during that time that they did it, where you said it was all the time. I just said, I was thinking that even when slavery so-called stopped, right, when it was so-called stopped on paper or on the books, and the states agreed to it, they would be arresting people to put them in slave labor,
And they kept transporting the slaves because that was the first ban of transporting human cargo to enslave them. That was the early 1800s. But it continued. They kept on transporting people for a good while.
Jay, in response to what you just said, okay? Let me respond very specifically to what you just said. You just said they locked up people so they could use the slave labor. Here's what the Constitution says. I don't care what some corrupt official does. I'm talking about what the Constitution says. It says, aware of the party shall have been, listen carefully to these words, duly convicted, meaning they got due process of law. If you got due process of law and you're convicted, then yes, you can be subject to slavery.
Wait a minute. What about, this means that if those towns was racist and they were arresting people where everybody's involved, so you got the police officers arresting people, put them in the court system, the judges is racist.
Okay, somebody got feedback.
So they could get slave labor.
All right, you see, now corruption breeds corruption. But what you're speaking of is an illegal practice. I agree with you.
Hey, Ottawa, your line has got feedback.
It is against the law to do it just like it's to sell drugs or to do armed robbery or anything else. What you're describing is something illegal.
No, it's not like anything else, because who has gone to jail for slavery? For enslavement. Who has gone to jail for raping my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother?
Wait a minute. Nobody goes
Come
to jail.
on now. No,
All right,
it's not the same.
let me do this right here. And Sarge, please don't cut me off.
Who's paying child support on all the children who came forth from rape?
Right.
Who's paying that child support?
Sarge, hold on. You guys hold on for 1 second, please. And Sarge, I'm gonna mute your line because we got feedback. I'm gonna mute your line for a minute, Ottawa. And I want to share this with you guys because it's important. This is the exact same paragraph Sarge read. And this is where he's saying that Frederick Douglass is giving credit to the forefathers and all that kind of bullshit, which he's not. What he's doing is actually criticizing these people for holding the Constitution up, promoting slavery, at the same time saying, look, slavery is not in the Constitution, so why are you guys proud of it? That's basically what he said. But because it's got the word forefathers in there, Sarge has misconstrued that and said that he's praising the forefathers. This is exactly what he said, and this is on the screen. It says, fellow citizens, there is no matter in respect the people of the North have allowed themselves to be so ruinously imposed upon as the pro-slavery characters of the Constitution. Now, that's what he's saying. If you're pro-slavery and you support the Constitution, he calling you ruin. That's what he just said. Okay, in that instrument, I hold there is neither warrant, license, or sanctions of the hateful thing. There is nothing in the Constitution that says slavery, that supports slavery, is what he's saying. But interpreted as it ought to be interpreted, the Constitution is a glorious liberty document. If you interpret the Constitution the way it's written and it don't hold slavery, then he's saying that it's a glorious document. Read the preamble. Consider its purposes. Is slavery among them? Is it at the gateway? Or is it at the temple? It is neither. He's telling you that slavery is not in the Constitution. While I do not intend to argue this question on the present occasion, let me ask, if it not be somewhat singular that if the Constitution were intended to be, by its framers and adopters, a slave-holding instrument, why neither slavery, slaveholding, nor slave can anywhere be found in it? Right there. He's telling you, if you're using that document the way that the forefathers or the founders intended it to be, why are you supporting slavery? That's all he's saying. He's not embracing no forefathers. He's just saying that the document, the Constitution of this land, don't support slavery in its writings, and the forefathers would have put it in there if that was their intentions. And this is his interpretation, but it's not there. So whenever Sarge read this and he see the word forefathers, he say, I love that Frederick Douglass loved the forefathers and he support. No, he's not. He's trying to tell people, including the forefathers that were slave holders, if they wanted it to be in there, they should put it in the goddamn document. So that's all I wanted to say. And this is how they misconstrue words and all that kind of bullshit. Just read it. If Frederick Douglass' speech is out there about the 4th of July, it doesn't say what Sarge just said it said. But go ahead.
In another speech, Frederick Douglass called the founders of the country brave and great men. He called them brave, he called them great, he called them having fostered a glorious revolution. Now, I guess that's not good enough for you to say that he admired them, but it's good enough for me.
Okay, but I'm just saying you misconstrued that information. I just want people.
Well, we all misconstrue a lot of things here, but I think we're getting closer to a real context about what he said. I think it's important to get everything in context, as you pointed out.
Listen,
like Martin Luther King did the same thing in the March on Washington speech. He also helped put that same argument in context in 1964.
Okay, shut up. Listen, and I got to put you on mute because I want to say this right here. Listen, I am not even going to pretend to be on the same intellectual level as Frederick Douglass. I'm not during this conversation. But Sarge, Frederick Douglass was a black man in America. He had descendants that were slaves and probably in his family and all that kind of stuff. You've got to be some type of moron for him not to recognize that the creators of this Constitution owned fucking slaves. So he was giving credit to the document and not specifically the people. He was giving credit of the bravery of the people that wrote the words to free these, to give these words on the Constitution so the people of America can live the way they live. He wasn't actually embracing these fucking slave holders. You can't be that fucking stupid. He was a black man in America.
I just got through telling you he said exactly that. I will give you his quote. Now, if you don't want to believe what the man
he was speaking for his own forefathers. He was speaking of his own forefathers and what the experience they had here. The founding fathers that you talking about, he didn't consider them his founding fathers.
He spoke about the founders of the United States.
Whatever.
Sarge, did he talk about the people that changed things or the people that wrote the thing from the beginning?
He said the founders. You know who the founders were?
We're going to read it.
We're going to read it. People collectively who wrote the Declaration of Independence. He was speaking about those men, those 54 signers of the Declaration.
Okay, so let me do it like this right here. Hold on. So watch this right here, Sarge. Watch this right here. Look, guys, look at the screen. And I'm just going to do it like this right here because we know some of the founders owned slaves, right? So watch Frederick Douglass's words. It says, fellow citizens, there is no matter in respect to which the people of the North have allowed themselves to be so ruinously imposed upon as the pro-slavery characters of the Constitution. Right there. When somebody is pro-slavery, that means that he's talking against them right now. And some of the founders were pro-slavery, Sarge. So you need to stop. In that instrument, I hold there is neither warrant, license, nor sanctions of that hateful thing. He's talking about if those founding fathers owned slaves, that's who the fuck he's talking to, Sarge. But he's talking about the validity of the document and how much power it has to set American people free. Now, if you want to narrow it down to individual white men and say that he embracing these people, there's something wrong with you and you cannot fucking read. Stop it, you idiot.
You can't read if you can't read what the man wrote. The man wrote it, the man said it. Now, I don't know why you're trying to nuance him out of his own words. His own words were clear. He knows to use English language better than you do. He used the English language that he meant it to sound.
Did some of the founders own slaves?
Yes, it's called
so who's talking to them?
Paradise. Look at the word paradise.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm done.
Man, you can't understand things, can you? You're a blockhead.
I'm done. I can't.
You give a pass, right, Sarge?
Hey, but listen, hold on.
Okay, now you want me to try and interpret Frederick Douglass. I'd rather go by what he said.
Let me ask you something. those pioneers that hit the Americas, that came out of Europe, out of Britain, who were they and where did they come from? Who were those people?
They were a varied lot of people. They were people as varied and anti-slavery as Benjamin Franklin, who was anti-slavery, and they were as pro-slavery as Patrick Henry. But they were largely people of Anglican, Scottish, Irish descent, mainly.
Were they not criminals that? Were they not criminals?
Give me that job.
No, did they empty out their prisons? Did they empty out their prisons? Oh my God! I'm saying something, Sarge. I'm asking you a question. Are you saying who were the people that left England, came here to these shores, and discovered America? Who were those people? They were criminals. They were emptied out of the Britain prison.
They were all,
and they came here. They were criminals. The founding fathers that you're talking about. The founding fathers that you're talking about, they were all criminals.
They did the same shit they were running from.
Well, I'm just telling this is their story.
No, sorry,
this is their story. This is how they tell it.
Could you agree that they were running from the same thing that they started doing?
They were running from religious persecution by King James I.
Sarge, hold
That's
on.
what they were doing with King James II.
Sarge.
No,
he was an Anglican. Many of them were
they were going to receive their freedom.
They were being persecuted.
They were going to get their freedom.
Of the crown.
I'm saying, hold on. Did they do the same thing?
You guys just don't want to listen to
Why are you yelling? What is wrong with you?
Why you yelling? I'm asking you something.
Because you keep interrupting me.
Sarge,
we can't understand you when you shout.
I'm trying to ask you the question. How you yelling over me when I'm trying to ask the question?
All right, one more time. You asked me a question, I tried to answer it, and you interrupted me.
Now just listen to the man and be quiet and then speak.
All right, so here again, they were Protestants who were being prosecuted by a Catholic king. He declared them criminals because of their religious belief. And that's why they got the hell out of town and got a contractor to take them to the English colonies on the Mayflower. And
it was the Catholic Church that sanctioned. It was the Catholic Church that sanctioned the expedition for them to come to the Americas.
The Catholic Church didn't.
The church gave an edict, what do you call a papal bull, whatever it is, that said, go out into the world and conquer what you may. You get your freedom if you're successful.
Talk about that.
No, he don't want to talk about that. He know they criminal.
You got quiet.
I'm waiting for you to finish, so I won't be interrupted.
And all of their decisions.
Yeah, right.
I'm waiting for you to finish, so you don't interrupt me. And I ain't got to yell.
You ain't got to yell because you ain't listening to that.
Anyway.
Oh, you're going to interrupt me no matter when I start.
You yelling all the time.
Get yourself together, brother. We don't want you to have a stroke. My goodness.
Okay, so listen, let's bring it back to the middle, guys. Let's bring it back to the middle, and let me share this with the audience. Sister Ottawa is correct, and here it is from Mrs. Institute, where it said the founding fathers were smugglers, tax evaders, and traitors. And then here is 5 horrifying facts about the founding fathers. Human bones were found in Benjamin Franklin's London house. George Washington abused legal loopholes to torture slaves. What else? Patrick Henry locked a mentally ill wife up. Thomas Jefferson gave the status of slaves to his children. I mean, you just Google it, man. So sorry, stop arguing so passionately about these guys.
I don't need to argue. I got a better historical book than Google. And I'll tell you what it is.
I'm not dealing with no Google. I'm dealing from memory, honey. Books I read in the past.
Okay, Sarge, you can talk, but please stop yelling.
Tell everybody to shut up!
You're still yelling.
Can I go now?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen up. There were 400 English Protestants that were living in exile in Holland. They were not happy. They were completely disaffected with the failure of the Church of England to reform what they thought were excesses. But instead of staying in England and trying to change things, 'cause that's what a whole lot of the Puritans did, they chose to live as separatists in Holland. And because they were separatists, they were considered radicals and declared to be so by the English king, the British king. He declared them criminals, heretics, while they were in Holland. All right, so let's get that straight. And then the government of Leiden, which was the government of Holland at the time, they gave financial aid to Reformed churches. They gave aid to them. Reformed churches, whether they were French, whether they were English, or whether they were German. And many of these people were members of a church from England, these Puritans that we call the Puritans, the Pilgrims, who went over on the Mayflower. When they learned that the authorities in Holland were aware of their congregation and they might turn them back over to English authorities, they felt they had to get the hell out of Dodge and come to the colonies. So they then contracted with an English contractor to take the voyage on board the Mayflower to become pilgrims and colonists in the then emerging English colonies, which were looking for people to settle them. So the only thing they were guilty of being a criminal for was being radical separatists and declared to be so by the British Crown.
Okay, so you got that out, right?
It didn't take me long either, did it?
I'm just asking. But here, once again, let me remind you about what this website is saying about the founding fathers. It says human bones were found in Benjamin Franklin's London house. And then George Washington abused legal loopholes to torture slaves. He didn't speak about that. George Washington's teeth belonged to slaves. We already knew that. Patrick Henry's locked his mentally ill wife up. And who was this one? Thomas Jefferson gave the status of slaves to his children. I mean, there was criminals, tax evaders, and so listen. We can go story. We can go listen to what I'm saying though. We can go forward with history without always glorifying these people in history. You can just tell the truth about who they were, so we can have a decent conversation. But if you get all protective and defending people whenever you want to protect their image, then you're not even telling an accurate depiction of history. If these people were criminals, just like Ottawa said, they were criminals. Goddamn, there ain't nothing wrong with that. They're dead now.
No, she was specifically referring to the Pilgrims, the ones that came over on the Mayflower. Now you changed the subject to the founders.
Sarge, let me ask you a question.
I mean, you guys are just careless. Your references.
Okay, so
Sarge,
let's find out.
Who did they listen when they said that they bought land from the Indians, the Native Americans, this, that, the other? But what about the land that they stole? Who were those people that were stealing land from the native people here at the time? Who were they?
Okay,
were they black people?
Jay, would you please narrow it down to what time frame you're speaking of? What time frame you're
so let's get this clear, Sarge.
Yeah, just give me within a decade.
Hold on. This is why I say, that's why I asked you the question, when they left there, the same thing that was being done to them, they started doing here. That was my question. So I'm going to go back to the time when they first wanted to get the fuck out of England, and they end up in the U.S., which is not the U.S. at the time, right? But they end up on this side of the world. My question, Sarge, again, what were they doing over here? Aside those that were, I'm not talking about the ones that bought land and said, oh, we got a few dollars, we want to buy your land. There's a lot of manipulation that happened. There was people that said they was going to do this. They didn't. They gave them a certain amount of money, and then they didn't give them the rest of it. There's people that stole land. Who were those people? Who are they? Please identify them.
Okay, now, since you wouldn't be specific as to the time frame in which you're referring,
I'm saying the beginning of Caucasians coming into the United States.
Okay, then that's what I'm going to deal with. Okay, I'm going to start in the 17th century, 1619. Okay, I'm going to do the real 1619 project thing. Okay, is that good enough for you? All right, those people that came here, when they first came here, their relationships were about 50 years or so were quite cordial with the Indians. They didn't have any serious problems of warfare or anything else with the Indians. What disagreements they had were pretty minor. So they didn't take their land or anything else. There was no large-scale warfare for about 50 years.
What happened in 50 years then?
They didn't take anybody's land. They traded with the Indians.
Hold on. So
the Indians traded with them. They traded European goods for seed, maize, corn, and everything else. That's what the first Thanksgiving was all about.
They here 50 years. What happened? Come on.
Well, no, hold on for a second, because I just found this museum saying that not all the Mayflower's passengers were religious, and they were allowed to they called them strangers on the boat, but they were allowed to put exiled people on that boat, on those boats, to bring them over here to this country. Now that's probably what Sister Ottawa is referring to, Sarge. You can't say that all of them was fucking religious.
Okay. So they had a few criminals amongst them, so that doesn't mean the core. The core of them was 400 pilgrims. The core. Not a few outliers.
Well, how many criminals does it take? Wait a minute, motherfucker. How many criminals does it take to break a goddamn law?
Okay, what is the Democratic Party then? They're all criminals. They get gangbangers, get the vote out for them.
Why are you screaming, man?
Because goddamn, you always raising up red herrings. I'm not chasing your goddamn red herring.
He's like Marjorie Taylor Greene protecting these white men.
See what I mean? You lost the argument and you know it.
Well, that's what you do. You screaming, yelling, protecting these white men. I don't know.
Ain't no argument.
I'm reflecting accurately what the historical record shows. You, on the other hand,
how could
you have no other purpose here other than to celebrate them. Because you hate this country and you hate its founding and you hate its tradition.
There's no way you can be
Sorry,
accurate.
listen, I was just correcting the record. You definitively said that the Pilgrims were religious, and I just explained to you that all of them were not religious.
They weren't Pilgrims. They weren't religious. They were strangers, nigga! You just said it!
Strangers in the night.
Wow.
Most of them weren't strangers, Tyrone. They were pilgrims.
So let's not get far from what I'm saying. Sarge, what happened 50 years later that they started getting comfortable enough to start pillaging and taking shit from people here? What happened 50 years later? Who came here or who triggered that and why?
Now, that's a very complex question and one that deserves an answer. And you know what the thing is. It happens every time large groups of people with dissimilar cultures encroach upon each other and cannot reconcile their differences. They go to war. There ain't nothing whatsoever new about that. Nothing.
Oh, my goodness. But Sarge, listen, you kind of scooted all around the fact that Rupert Murdoch was in court, and he actually literally said that everything that you...
Now you want to change the subject again, okay.
Okay, you ain't got to change the subject, but I just wanted to point out that, you know, how you ignoring the fact...
I just got through saying, I went into great detail about that case. It had nothing to do with whether or not the Dominion voting machines were legitimate. It was that they said that they should not have repeated things they did not believe were true. Okay. That's all it was about.
Okay, so shut up and listen. Hold on, Jay. Hold on.
About the accuracy of the machines or anything else.
Listen, sorry, I got you on mute. Jay, I got you on mute. I got both of y'all on mute. So shut up and listen. The fact that you're arguing about, you know, the confusion and the nuances about the machines and all that kind of stuff is irrelevant, because the entire reporting of the election of 2020 was felonious, according to Rupert Murdoch. So if they wasn't speaking the damn truth, everything that you're talking about was a fucking lie. Because up on the deposition, while he's sworn in, he's telling you that he allowed his fucking TV station to tell a lie, even those fucking conspiracies that you're repeating right now. So everything was a lie. The 2000 Mules was a lie. The geo-tracking was a fucking lie. All of that shit was a lie. Donald Trump saying that the election is stolen was a goddamn lie. And Rupert Murdoch allowed it to go over his airways to be consumed by your fucking indoctrinatable fucking brain so you can come on here 2 years later and still argue the same dumb shit. That's all I'm saying is that he called it all
you know
a
what?
fucking
Listen,
lie.
Listen to your own
Hold
argument. Let me play back your own argument to you. Let me play back your own argument to you, Tyrone, because you're so stupid you don't even realize what you just said. Yeah, let me tell you what you just got through saying. You just got through. Wait a minute, let me respond to this guy, then I'll listen to your question. All right, now look, man, you just got through saying that Fox News told a bunch of lies, and that Fox News wouldn't cover any of it because they knew it was lies. Now, I've been saying these things about the irregularities. That ain't got a goddamn thing to do with Dominion or Smartmatic. That has to do with findings by the Pennsylvania court, the Wisconsin court, the audits in Arizona, the audits in Pennsylvania, the audits in Georgia and elsewhere. All of this, nothing whatsoever goddamn ever to do with Dominion.
Okay,
and yet and still you keep maintaining that somehow Fox News, which what they're saying, which they didn't even reference, and which I don't even agree with, somehow I'm being led by the nose by what they said about when they didn't even say anything about it.
Okay, so real quick.
You yourself don't even realize what a dummy you sound like.
Real quick, watch this right here, Jay. Watch this right here. Fox, I'm going to say Sarge. Who won the 2020 election, Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
God damn it, Joe Biden's in the White House. I don't believe he won. Now that's all I'm gonna say about it. You ain't gonna give me no fucking trap. I made it clear how I feel about the 2020 election, and you told me I can't
so I just proved my point.
Sarge.
I just proved my point.
Okay. No, and look. The reality is this. Look, Fox News is good at what they do. All right, and that's where I gotta give credit. Listen. Fox News, right? They was able to turn what was a news channel in the beginning, because I heard a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't know that Rupert Murdoch came from another, some other shit. I didn't know that.
Oh, listen, Jay. Listen on Netflix. Right? Go watch this documentary. Right. Listen, Jay. Go watch this documentary called Murdoch. It will tell you from Australia to the UK to Asia, that man took over this damn planet in the media. He did.
Right. No. And I learned a lot of that. Honestly, I didn't know he was even from Australia. I thought he was from England. But, I got educated. We all learned new things. But I knew that he was from the media world. He had millions or billions of dollars, and he started off somewhere else. But what I say this, Sarge, he was smart in how he took this, what was a beginning of a news network. It wasn't really too opinionated. It was just giving the facts what it was, especially during the war. I got to give it to them. At that time, they was covering the war, not bipartisan or whatever, and they was just showing what it was. It wasn't political. It was just showing what was going on. Yes, they were showing the political things going on both sides, but they wasn't really leaning to any other side. But then they turned it into a full entertainment, for the most part, entertainment, and they was very good in convincing the people to believe the stuff they was doing or saying. So I just say that's where I give them credit, but it's bad credit because it wasn't for the good. It was to lie because it was about ratings. And if you do the math and you start looking at how a lot of these people, look at how the internet works. Look at how Facebook is working and Twitter and all that, and you see them getting called. It's the same shit, Sarge. So understand that propaganda, right? And when you got money, right, they gonna go where the money's at. So Fox News is like, damn, you know what? And so there's no morality. He said there's no red or blue. There's green. And that goes to show you that he said, you know what, let the fucking world explode. As long as Fox News is getting them ratings and they're getting them advertisers, that's what counts. You know what I'm saying? And yes, they didn't like, some of them didn't like it, but they was like, you know what, I got to get that money. I need them advertisers. And really, they didn't need to do that to get advertisement. What it was that the mindset was there, and because they seen another competitor, which was a Newsmax, that was going to be, like Fox News on steroids, coming in. They was like, oh no, shit, we got to keep this going, because if not, then they're going to go to another. And there have been documentation, whether it was TV shows or movies, and reality where some of these networks and people go off the chain just for ratings. Okay, so we got people doing that on the internet right now, Facebook. They're like trying to keep the advertiser. Now when it doesn't work for them, then they'll change it. So if those advertisers say, "Oh no, we don't like what we're seeing, and we're going to pull away from you guys. We're going to work with the other network." But no, they were scared. And again, all they did this for, Sarge, was for green. And you are either fully convinced, or you is the truth. Like, now finally it's like, damn, and you don't want to admit to it. And it's okay for yourself, but you're going to have to deal with that in your mind. So you could say whatever and keep going, oh, well, whatever. But whether you do or don't know, like I said, if you really in your heart believe this shit, that Fox News, is real, and all this other shit that Newsmax is pumping out there, and the election, the Donald Trump and all that, he got you really good. But again, I don't know if you believe it for real or you playing on it, because I don't think you that stupid. I think you have ignorance like we all do, but I don't think that you're that ignorant to believe or not believe, to know.
Now, it is really maddening to be listened to and not heard. Let me say it again.
I'm done.
I specifically excluded. I've said this over and over again tonight, and you refuse to hear me when I say it. I specifically excluded Dominion, what Fox didn't say it. They had guests on who made aspersions on the Dominion voting machines. And they included Smartmatic in there with no substantiating evidence. Now, I initially thought there was validity to it at first. When I looked into it, I saw it was completely lacking in appropriate substantiation, so I put it aside. I became agnostic about it. I didn't disbelieve it, nor did I believe it. And I even stopped referring to it altogether. What I kept referring to, and what both you and Tyrone repeatedly keep ignoring, is the other evidence of election fraud and irregularities that had not a single damn thing to do with Dominion or Smartmatic. I don't take my cues from Fox. I get information from them, which I may or may not believe based upon what is substantiable.
Sorry.
Okay, no, let me say this right here. Let me.
Is leading me around by the nose.
Okay, Sarge, you just answered my question. You couldn't answer my question about who won the 2020 election. And in addition to that, you actually sent me a DVD trying to prove to me that the election was won by Donald fucking Trump. This is what you did, sir. And that all came from fucking Fox News. You fucking shut the fuck up, motherfucker. I know it hurts. I shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. I did not cut you off, sir. I did not cut you off, sir. I did not cut you off.
Did you ever get anything right?
Oh God, I know it hurts. But the whole
only way you can possibly compete with me is to lie about what I say.
Okay. But the whole reason that you was on this kick about proving that the 2000 Mules movie was actually true is because Fox News and Rupert Murdoch was spreading some type of conspiracy about the election being stolen. That was the basis. That's the reason that Denise D'Souza came out there and talked about election fraud and ballot harvesting and all that kind of bullshit. It was rooted in Fox News, you fucking moron. What is wrong with you? Now, once again, sir, just who won the 2020 election, sir?
Nigga, didn't you tell me I can't talk about that? Because that's spreading a conspiracy theory. Didn't you just say that first again in this motherfucking show? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you schizophrenic or something?
Sir, who won? Who won the election, sir?
Answer that fucking question. I'll give you my opinion on it.
Oh, God. You still don't get it,
man. This is my opinion, nigga. That fucking senile bastard in the basement did not get 81 million votes. That's a goddamn lie.
Okay, so now, wait right there. Hold on. That claim that you just made is rooted in the fact that Rupert Murdoch, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham, Maria Bartiromo, Janine DePero, the reason that you said that those votes was off counted is because that network spread that information that you're telling me right now.
Yes.
So can you do you understand that?
Now, nigga, you gonna tell me what I base my opinions on? Who the fuck are you?
I'm telling you where it came
You
from.
are not the one to tell me upon which I decide to base. I'm here to tell you what I base my opinions on. God damn it, I base my opinion on the election on evidence other than that.
Okay, listen, there is no way in the fuck that you went out there and counted 82 million goddamn ballots personally.
Right.
You had to obtain that information through a media source. And what I'm trying to tell you is the root of that source is fucking Fox News. Now, you can pretend like you did your research and clicked on a YouTube video and got this bullshit, when we all know that Fox News is in court right now because of that shit that you saying out of your mouth. So if you don't have to accept that.
Nigga, I just based earlier in this program, I gave you the source of the total amount of registered voters in the United States, which came from the United States Census Bureau, not fucking Fox News. And then I gave you the total number of votes from all 50 states that they said. I simply did mathematics and added them up. And if you believe those numbers of the number of people that they say voted in the 2020 election versus the number of people the United States Census Bureau says are registered voters in the United States, then you get a turnout of 92%. And if you fucking believe that, nigga, you belong in the fucking insane asylum.
All right, so watch this. According to what Sarge just said, he said the numbers was off, right? But why is this the only election that really matters about the vote count? Why the fuck ain't previous election Sarge making this same argument? Why is it this election specifically that he went to the census and got all this data and all of a sudden he found a fucking smoking gun? That's bullshit, Sarge, and it originates from that fucking Australian fucking goddamn I ain't gonna call him no names, but Rupert Murdoch. That's where you getting it from, Sarge. Now you can believe whatever you want to, right? Because you read your little Reddit websites and you read your little 4chans and all that kind of bullshit. You can believe whatever the hell you want to. I'm just trying to share with the people the origin of this information that you calling truth right now. And you don't have to accept it, but it's a lie.
You can't even do mathematics. I want you to simply subtract 154 million or so votes from 168 million registered voters. Do the mathematics, divide the number into the integer, into the numerator, and then tell me what the percentage is, and you will see it's 92%. And if you believe there's a 92% turnout of eligible voters in the United States in the 2020 election, then goddammit, you're infinitely more naive than I ever could be.
Okay, so watch this right here. With your data that you just shared with me, right? That could be the perfect legal argument for goddamn Fox in this.
Remember that they said that somebody, the lady,
oh shit,
that she put her son in her bag.
My damn mic keep going out. I'm sorry, sir.
There was a lot of different accusations. They went to court and they lost 60 times, Sarge, and they couldn't produce no concrete evidence that there was some rigging of anything. Forget about Dominion. Let's talk about in general, right? So if it wasn't Dominion. No. But hold on. So we can go away from Dominion, but we can say, Sarge. This is the thing. Fox News knew whether. Yeah, I know you don't like him, but Joe Biden won the election. They even got mad at one of the newscasters that announced it, Sarge. Okay? Sarge, I want you to understand. Listen, Rupert Murdoch said it's not about red or blue, it's about green. Understand that, Sarge.
You're back to Fox.
Listen, sorry, but hold on. I want you to understand. Hold on. But you gotta understand this. Donald Trump. Sarge, I want you to go back, and I want you to understand that Donald Trump also comes from this world of ratings. You understand?
I'm not concerned with what they believe.
Well, no. I want you to understand that part of the propaganda had to do with riling up people and ratings and all type of shit.
I'm not susceptible to it.
Listen. I've never heard a president ever we heard Donald Trump talk about ratings on what networks is when he's on and all this. It was crazy hearing that. And like I said, he was based on a race. You understand? So all these people, all they think about is about the green. So just like you have been manipulated, that's what exactly they want. I'll leave it there.
It's just amazing, man. You keep referring to Fox News as though that's my Bible. And it's
hey, can y'all hear me? There's something on my damn microphone.
Decision in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
All right, well, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to hang up and call back in.
When I refer to you the simple numbers and the things ruled by courts, by election audits, you ignore them. When I refer you to results in Maricopa County,
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. There are 4 participants in the conference. Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
Oh, well, Fox News, no. Let's go to what happened on the ground.
Can y'all hear me?
talk about Fox News all you want. It's not going to make a
difference. Hold on, damn it. Can y'all hear me? Because I believe there's something wrong with my microphone. So can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, so no, I didn't want nothing. I just want to make sure my mic working. Go ahead and scream, Sarge. I guess you need to get it off your chest.
All right, again, I don't care what Fox News says. If I don't believe they're being correct or factual, I ignore them. When I think they're correct, I will rely on the information. I'm telling you, with regard to Dominion, I am completely agnostic. I don't accept it. I don't reject it. I put it aside till it's either completely disproven or disproven, and the accuracy of Dominion has yet to be either proven or disproven.
So again, you don't understand how television works based on ratings, and they get extreme. You know what?
I reckon I've read hundreds of books about propaganda. I'm immune to propaganda. I'm immune to it. It doesn't affect me.
Sorry. The reason why reality TV is the way it's so popular is because it be all extreme and they get all crazy and shit. Because they always do that for the audience. They want to wild up the audience. That's what Donald Trump did. He used propaganda also because he's from the television world, and so did Rupert Murdoch.
Well,
he got you.
I just want to say this right here. I can't
you are
believe
more affected by propaganda than me. For you, everything January 6th, insurrection, worse than Pearl Harbor, worse than
hold on. Calm down, man.
You're the one that's susceptible to propaganda.
Okay. Well, I just can't believe my ears when I heard somebody say that they're immune to propaganda when they came on here for years and claimed that they went to a hospital in Hawaii for a birth certificate. So and then not only that propaganda got to him. He claims that the president of the United States
you have to lie on what I say. You lying motherfucker. You
can you shut up? If you're immune to propaganda, you're not immune to propaganda, Sarge. You just sing.
The only way you can argue against me is to lie about what I say. Shall I tell you again what I said 1,000,000 times?
No, I don't want you to tell me because
I know, because you know goddamn well I didn't say it.
Okay, well, you being immune to propaganda is bullshit. That's all I was trying to say.
You're full of shit.
That it don't sound right. Like I said, look. I come from the TV, the New York, media. New York is the media capital of the world, right? And it's also the financial district or financial fucking capital of the world, whether people like it or not, right? And this is the thing, Sarge. Media, right? Most of the media right now, they're looking for shock value. So and they do it. If you notice, most media or TV is based on, fake stories or this, that. They even if it's a real story, they'll spice it up and shit like that. So what I'm gonna say again is something that probably they thought that, we'll get a couple of ratings. It got crazy and it became real, but they didn't care because, again, they're so deep into it because of the advertisement. And I'm telling you again, Rupert Murdoch, that Fox News owner, had got you, and he was scared that you was going to run to Newsmax like you did. You betrayed Fox News, and I'll leave it there.
Okay, whenever I make a site of factual information, I almost always, like 95% of the time, give you the source. How often do I cite Fox News? Goddamn well, I rarely do, if ever. I usually refer you to governmental websites to the United States Census Bureau, to the Department of Labor Statistics, to the CDC, to the goddamn government. I refer you to court depositions, court filings. I refer you to docket numbers and everything else. I almost never refer to Fox News. Yes, I get information from Fox News, and I use that as a springboard to look into what they say are the factual data from which they extrapolate their news. I go to the source of what they say is their source, and I look to see if it's true or not. Mostly, it's the government. It isn't Fox News.
You're not telling the truth.
Wait. So hold on. So it was government, official government people that have credibility that said that the election was rigged.
It was official government records, namely the United States Census Bureau, that gave the number of registered voters in the United States has somewhere in the neighborhood of 168,568,000 or so. All right, that's been what they gave.
Sorry.
And then they said the number of people who voted was somewhere over 154 million, which if you do the math means 92% of eligible voters voted in the 2020 election, and I don't believe that.
Sarge, listen, if
So you're free to believe anything you want. I don't believe it.
Well, look, that's what they're telling you when you come up with this
Yeah, that's
crazy
your government,
shit.
sir. That's not Fox News.
No. I'm talking about when reality, because there's got to be some people that's counting this shit and they're really seeing the numbers, right? Like, everybody in the government ain't seeing these numbers. There's certain people specifically, they seeing that shit
Well, you
and
go to
they're
the United States
reporting back.
Census Bureau and just read for yourself. Don't believe me.
Sarge.
Don't believe me, okay? Don't believe a
Hold
word.
on, wait.
Go to the Census Bureau and look it up.
Hold on, wait. So you just said the census. Did I hear it just right? You said the Census Bureau, Sarge?
Okay, again, when the Census Bureau does the census, they ask people in the houses who is a registered voter and how many of them. They tabulate that number. They gave a number of about 168,550,000 or 40,000 or so people who are registered voters. That's what the Census Bureau gave. Now, if you add up there's only 50 states in the union. All you got to do is take up a little notepad, and add up the 50 states' numbers as to what they reported the people who were eligible to vote voted. Just add it up, Jay. You will get somewhere in the neighborhood of excess of 154 million votes. Now, that's got nothing to do with Fox News. That's what the state reported. That's what they report as the people who voted in their state.
Sarge.
Okay, hold on, Jay.
Let me.
Okay, Sarge, listen, please, and I know you're going to scream when I talk. The fact that you're repeating whatever you're saying about the census is you in denial of the outcome of the election, right? So you're saying because of this mishap in the census data that the amount of voters didn't vote or whatever. That's still you in denial, and that originates with the doubt that was put in your head from Fox News. Now, you don't have to agree with that, sir, but everybody with common sense know how the election went, know who won, know who's the president, except for you right now, because you're arguing some conspiracy census fucking data. It's ridiculous to sit up here and hear you make this fucking argument, to be honest with you.
Okay, Tyrone, since I am capable of deductive and inductive reasoning, I don't believe it. No, I don't accept the outcome of the election. You are correct. And
great. So now we can have a conversation.
Because I am capable of inductive and deductive reasoning, and it gives me pause in believing it is true.
Fine. So now we can move forward. You don't accept the outcome. So now we need to know why you think
that. That is so, but I know what the outcome says it was.
Okay, but
I don't deny
so
that.
We're having a bigger conversation now. You don't accept the outcome, and you need to know where that belief came from. Do you track it with me now?
You don't get to tell me that. I get to tell you where my belief comes from, not you.
Okay.
So on that one, I hold all the cards. You don't know what I base my beliefs on unless I tell you.
Okay, hold on for a minute. Okay, I gotta put you on mute. Listen, guys, he just said that he don't accept the outcome of the election. Everybody else in America, except for these MAGA heads, probably hold that probably know that the election, Joe Biden won the election, right? So he don't accept the outcome. So now when you try to drill down and say, okay, why do you think that way? And why don't you accept the outcome of the election? He don't want to admit that this propaganda and him being indoctrinated from Fox News actually swayed his opinion in such a manner that 2 years later, he's still saying that he don't accept the outcome of the election, that President Biden been running for at least 2 years, that we done did all kinds of bullshit since this stuff, since the election has happened, and this guy is still saying that he don't accept the outcome of the goddamn election. Sarge, Rupert Murdoch is in court right now because you believe that way. You need to understand why they're in court, because the influence that they had on someone like you is very dangerous, and that's why they're getting sued for $1 billion. What the fuck?
To keep you fooled.
Yo,
So listen here, blockhead Negro. So in other words, the very things I tell you I do not place faith in, you say influence me, no matter how many times I tell you and give you the specific reasons as to why I don't place faith in it. I was very specific as to give you all the reasons. You just tell me that, therefore, I'm influenced by that which I have told you specifically as to why I have rejected it. You're nuts. You're out of your fucking mind.
Sarge, listen, the reason why he's getting sued is exactly that. And he wanted to keep people like you watching and not run over to Newsmax, because Newsmax was going more extreme than that.
Listen, can you hear me now?
So,
can you hear me? Listen, the reason I'm saying that, Sarge, is because they said that this was the most secure election in history, right? Judges, lawyers, Trump fucking people. They said that this was the most secure election in history and there was no misdoings in this election. But you still contend that somehow or another something ain't right. And I'm telling you, the origins of your thought is the reason that Rupert Murdoch is sitting in fucking court right now. And if you can't connect those dots, Sarge, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
Look, man, Rupert Murdoch going to have to deal with what he wants to deal with. I ain't responsible for him or nothing him and his employees say. I'm responsible for what I believe. And I've told you the reasons why I believe what I believe. And like I said, I can't even speak to myself according to your motherfucking ass. What I say don't mean what I say according to you.
Okay, so let's back it up. Okay, so before this election, before the 2020 election, right? Was the other elections, were there mishaps in those elections?
There's been mishaps in every single presidential election in the history of the United States. Not enough to affect the outcome, though.
But so the 2020 election was enough to affect the outcome, according to you?
The 2020 election was a glaring exception.
Okay, so now, being that you hold that belief, and everybody else in the damn country, including the Supreme Court, and all these judges, and all these lawyers, and all these Trump campaign people think otherwise, you got to understand that you holding on to this belief for a reason. Because you did not count all the votes. You did not see all the ballots. And you're not accepting this outcome like you would normally accept election outcomes for some reason. And I'm telling you, the origins of that was this shit that Sean Hannity did, that Tucker Carlson did, that Marie and Lou Dobbs did, that all of these people did this shit because you kept on repeating some of that same shit. You even repeated the fucking Hugo Chavez from Venezuela bullshit. You even repeated the Missouri bullshit. You repeated the fucking, Philadelphia? Was it Philadelphia? You repeated all of that shit.
The Pizzagate.
Now, you see, this is what I mean about your blockhead, no-hearing, deaf-ass motherfucking self. I specifically said the shit with Venezuela was not proven and not substantiated.
You said it
right
tonight. You
said it
right
over your head when I said it. It went right over your head. You just said
brother.
I repeated as though I believed it.
No, brother, listen. I give you credit. You did. Sorry, listen to what I'm saying, brother. You did say it tonight. You did, but previously you were repeating that stuff.
And I told you why I rejected it eventually.
Okay, so check this out. Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute for a second. If you believed it previously, and you know that it was a lie that came from Fox, and now that you changed your mind, Do you understand that original lie of Venezuela that you got from Fox was a goddamn lie? So most likely, all that other bullshit about the election denial that's coming from Fox or the right wing is also a goddamn lie. In other words, you just can't take piece of it and you just can't pull the shit out of the damn coin and eat it. It's all got shit on it. You can't. I mean, come on, Sarge. You can't just hold on to something.
The other things have not been disproven, and I still accept them as being valid. And you cannot speak for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has yet to rule on the validity of the election. You can't speak for the Supreme Court any more than I can.
Okay. I don't know what to do.
Sarge, you don't want to.
You don't pay attention to what you say, do you?
I mean, you know what it is that if you admit to this, it goes for everything because you see Trump did so many damn lies. It's like,
I know.
look, it's
like
like
I said, y'all don't even listen to yourselves when you say these things. I listen to you.
Sarge, let me ask you a question, look. Do you think that dude Murdoch killed his wife and his son?
I don't know. I haven't even been following that trial. It doesn't have that much interest in me, so I don't know.
Get back to me on that.
Well, I have no interest in looking at it. Why don't you tell me when you discover it?
I'm going to say this. A liar that keeps lying and lying.
All right, well, good. But
Hold on, Sarge. It's hard for a person to believe them if they lie more than they tell the truth.
All right, well, good. Right? Well, don't believe them then. Be my guest.
Well, no, I'm just saying you don't have to believe, but the deeper thing than that is just that they're lying, Sarge.
Well, look, man, I know one thing. I don't believe that these election audits conducted by election officials in which they repeat results that are contrary to the official findings of the election, I believe they are making a statement against interest. So that's why I tend to believe
Sarge.
You, on the other hand, are just completely naive and credulous. I'm not as credulous as you are.
You don't got to do all that. That's like a lot of. That's like.
No, I know what I have to do, Jay. You don't need to tell me, and I don't need you to tell me what I need to believe.
That's like a woman snapping her fingers left and right. Leave that alone.
I'm going by the evidence that I have acquired and gained, and most of it comes from official governmental sources, which are acting against their own interests.
Sarge, who told Donald Trump that the election was rigged?
Donald Trump's got common sense. He could see that for himself. He didn't need anybody.
No. He had to have some information to be able to say that it was rigged, Sarge. You just don't say, it's rigged.
Well, here's what he had. Okay, let me ask the question.
Hold on. Hold on.
I know where he got a lot of his information.
Hold on. Who and where did it come from? Who and where?
He got it from people who were poll watchers. He got it from weeks after the election, from depositions by people who reported under oath irregularities in the election. He got it from looking at the United States Constitution that says the only people who can alter election law are state legislators. He got all that from all of those sources. He didn't need Fox News to tell him any of that.
So why did he call Georgia and ask them to give him the
numbers? Why don't you ask him? Because he knows all this shit was rigged.
No. But
he's the president of the United States. He's going to be like Richard Nixon and just stand by and say, well, for the good of the nation, I won't put the nation through all divisiveness, even though I know John F. Kennedy stole the election from me.
Sarge.
No, he's not Richard Nixon, okay? He decided to fight.
Sarge, somebody told him that the election was rigged. But let's remember, he said that the election was rigged even before. So how did he know ahead of time that they were going to rig it? Sarge, he didn't know.
Because all the indicators were there based upon the fact that they were prepared to do all the salad harvesting using COVID-19 and the lockdown excuses with the universal mail-in balloting as an excuse to steal the election by ballot harvesting.
Okay, listen. He done gone full conspiracy now, so I don't know. He just done went off the rails. So listen, if y'all want to call into the show, you can. I'm finna shut YouTube down. Sorry, you can sit there and yell that shit all you want to. It's just stupid, man. But go ahead. Your mic is open. Everybody's mic is open.
Well, he asked me the question, and he finally got it. I told you I don't want to answer.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Again, he didn't know that it was rigged. He called it ahead of time.
Okay.
Sarge, hold on.